and welcome back to Voice Behind the Case, a space where we slow down, look deeper, and tell the full stories behind tragedies that deserve more than a headline. Before we begin, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. On the 28th of December 2023, a respected education official was shot and killed inside his own home in Mankweng Zone 1 outside Polokwane. What initially appeared to be a robbery would later be exposed in court as a calculated and orchestrated murder arranged by someone within his own household. The victim was Dr Malekutu Johannes Mehlape, a circuit manager at the Limpopo Department of Education, and the person who pleaded guilty to organizing his killing was his 28-year-old daughter, Mologadi Magdeline Mehlape. According to court proceedings, the motive stemmed from claims made by a traditional healer who alleged that Dr Mehlape had been responsible for his wife's death through the use of muthi. What followed was a conspiracy involving multiple accused, an agreed payment of 200,000 rands, and a plan that ended in gunfire inside a family home. This is the full story of how that plan unfolded, how arrests were made, and how the court ultimately delivered a life sentence. Dr Malekutu Johannes Mehlape was a senior official within the provincial education and served as a circuit manager responsible for overseeing academic administration and school performance within his jurisdiction. In his professional capacity, he carried significant responsibility within the Limpopo education sector and was regarded as an established figure in his field. He resided at his home in Mankweng Zone 1, where he lived prior to the events that would ultimately lead to his death. On the night of the 28th of December 2023, he retired to his bedroom unaware that a coordinated plan had allegedly been set in motion against him. During the early hours of that night, armed individuals entered the property without forced entry. Dr Mehlape was ambushed while asleep in his bedroom and was shot multiple times. The attack was swift and deliberate, leaving him fatally wounded inside his own home. Following the shooting, several valuables were taken from the property, including the deceased's cell phone, which initially created the impression that the incident was a violent robbery. However, as investigators began piecing together the timeline of events, evidence suggested that the robbery was not the primary motive, but rather part of a broader plan. Police attention gradually shifted towards individuals who had direct access to the home on the night in question. Investigators established that the gate and the main door had been unlocked, allowing the perpetrators to enter without breaking in. This detail significantly altered the direction of the investigation. The absence of forced entry indicated that the attackers had been assisted from inside the property. As the investigation progressed, suspicion focused on the victim's daughter, Mologadi Magdeline Mehlape. Court proceedings later revealed that Mologadi had allegedly orchestrated the killing of her father following claims made by a traditional healer. The healer, identified as Hlologelo Klaas Mogotlane, was named as one of the co-accused in the matter. According to the state, Mogotlane informed Mologadi that her father had been responsible for her mother's death through the use of muthi. This claim deeply influenced her perception of events within her family. Prosecutors stated that the allegation became the foundation for resentment and the desire for retaliation. When traditional or spiritual attempts to address the situation allegedly failed to produce the outcome she sought, the plan escalated beyond belief into criminal conspiracy. It was at this stage, according to the state, that the idea of eliminating her father through hired assistance took shape. The court heard that a sum of 200,000 rands was agreed upon as payment for the killing. This transformed the matter from a personal grievance into a contract agreement. Several individuals were drawn into the plan, and 4 co-accused later appeared alongside Mologadi in court. These individuals were Tshepo Gabriel Ranoto, Hlologelo Klaas Mogotlane, Mahlodi Melida Mathole, and Michael Sello Molongoane. They face charges of conspiracy to commit murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances, and possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Their trial has been separated from that of Mologadi and was postponed to the 20th of June 2025 in the Polokwane High Court. The separation of trials followed Mologadi's decision to plead guilty. On the night of the murder, the court heard that Mologadi unlocked both the gate and the main entrance to the house, thereby granting the perpetrators access to the property. This action removed the need for forced entry and enabled the attackers to move directly toward the victim's bedroom. Dr Mehlape was asleep at the time and was ambushed without warning. He was shot multiple times in close proximity. The attack was described by the prosecution as brutal and calculated. After the shooting, items were removed from the house in what formed the basis of the robbery charge. However, the state maintained that the robbery was secondary to the primary objective, which was the killing itself. Police investigations led to a series of arrests in Mankweng and surrounding areas. A Ford Ranger double cab believed to have been used during the commission of the crime was seized during the arrests. The vehicle allegedly played a role in transporting suspects connected to the incident. Further development occurred in Zebediela, where a firearm believed to have been used in the killing was recovered. The recovery of the weapon strengthened the prosecution's case and provided critical evidentiary support. As forensic and investigative findings accumulated, the state built what it later described as overwhelming evidence against Mologadi. This body of evidence would play a significant role in the legal proceedings that followed. On the 1st of June 2025, the matter reached a decisive stage in the Polokwane High Court when Mologadi Magdeline Mehlape entered a guilty plea. She was convicted in terms of Section 112, Number 2 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 on charges of murder and robbery with aggravating circumstances. By pleading guilty, she formally admitted her role in orchestrating the events that led to her father's death. The court carefully considered her plea statement before recording the conviction. Her admission eliminated the need for a prolonged trial in her case. However, it did not diminish the gravity of the offense or the seriousness with which the court approached sentencing. During mitigation, Mologadi addressed the court and apologized to her family for her actions. She informed the court that she is the primary caregiver of her 1-year, 9-month-old daughter and requested that her parental responsibilities be taken into consideration. She also referred to unresolved disputes that existed between her and her father. The defense urged the court to weigh these personal circumstances when determining an appropriate sentence. However, State Advocate Muneiwa Rachivumo argued that the guilty plea was motivated not by genuine remorse but by the strength of the evidence gathered against her. The prosecution described the murder as gruesome and heartless and urged the court to impose the prescribed minimum sentence. After considering both aggravating and mitigating factors, The court sentenced Mologadi to life imprisonment for the charge of murder. She was further sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for robbery with aggravating circumstances. The court ordered that the sentences run concurrently. In delivering sentence, the court underscored the premeditated and orchestrated nature of the crime. The judgment reflected the seriousness of planning and facilitating the killing of a parent within a private residence. Life imprisonment represented the court's determination that the offense warranted the highest available sanction under the law. The National Prosecuting Authority welcomed the conviction and life sentencing, stating that the outcome affirmed the justice system's resolve to hold perpetrators of serious violent crimes accountable. The NPA emphasized that the case demonstrated its commitment to upholding the rule of law and securing justice for victims and their families. The conviction marked the conclusion of Mologadi's individual proceedings, but the broader case remains active. Her 4 co-accused continue to face trial in the Polokwane High Court. Their legal fate will be determined as the prosecution presents its case against them in the separated proceedings. The upcoming trial of the remaining accused will focus on their alleged roles in the conspiracy, the execution of the plan, and the possession of the firearm used in the killing. The state is expected to present evidence relating to the alleged 200,000 Rand agreement and the coordination of events leading up to the 28th of December 2023. The court will assess each accused's level of involvement independently. Until that process is concluded, they remain accused persons awaiting final judgment. The separation of trials ensures that each matter is adjudicated on its own merits. The continuation of proceedings reflects the legal system's structured approach to complex conspiracy cases. The murder of Dr. Malekutu Johannes Mehlape stands as a case defined by calculated planning, internal access, and fatal consequences. What began as an allegation rooted in traditional belief escalated into a coordinated contract killing that ended in irreversible loss. A father was killed inside his own bedroom, and a daughter now serves life imprisonment for orchestrating his death. 4 other accused individuals await the outcome of their trial. The case has left a lasting impact on both the family and the broader community of Mankweng. It also serves as a stark reminder that conspiracy and premeditated violence carry severe and permanent consequences under South African law. Thank you for watching Voice Behind the Case. If you found this episode informative, please comment your thoughts below, share this video, and subscribe so we can continue telling the stories that matter. Until next time, stay informed, stay aware, and remember, behind every case, there are human lives forever changed.